What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorldPodcast, and we're going to be talking about Week 2 Monday Night Football, the Seahawks and the Bears. Now, the first thing that I'm going to start off with this podcast in saying is I've been getting a lot of questions about what do I think about what John Gruden did in regards to Khalil Mack. Before we get into the fact that he was part of so many opportunities that were presented for his teammates, including, Danny Trevathan and all these guys that were just balling out there, it was this one guy is creating so many different situations. Akeem Hicks, Aaron Lynch, these guys are not that good without a guy like this. Even like Leonard Floyd and these guys, the way that they're playing, they're a rejuvenated team because this guy is bringing a certain type of energy that's going to make the Bears defense be a force to be reckoned with in the North. I'm just calling it now. Like, it's not going to, none of these northern teams, these NFC North teams are going to be running through the Bears. We're going to get to Trubisky in a second, but I'm telling you right now, as far as the John Gruden trade goes with Khalil Mack, that probably is going to be the reason why he's not going to last the 10 years with the $100 million. I didn't think he was going to last regardless, but this is just, it's like, you leave a girl or you leave a guy or whatever, and you get out of a relationship and then the dude hits the lotto or the chick hits the lotto, and you're like, yo, what's going on? What is this? Like, you make such a bad decision, but it doesn't make any sense because when you look at Khalil Mack's numbers over the years that he was with the Raiders, he's not the kind of guy you want to pick on or get rid of. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm trying to figure, I don't understand what they're doing with the Raiders organization. I don't know how they lost the last game that they played because they were winning the entire game. Derek Carr had a crazy percentage, and the Broncos were still able to come back and beat them. I don't know what John Gruden's doing. I'm going to tell you this, though. The fans are going to start to get really antsy over there because it's a lot of, this is tomfoolery that's going on right now because when you look at what this man, Khalil Mack, is doing over the last couple of weeks, granted they lost last week, but that was just a vicious comeback. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this, bro. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't understand why you would let a guy go like this because he's flashing all over the screen. He's an unbelievable player. And they dominated the Seattle Seahawks team that was injury riddled. Obviously Bobby Wagner didn't play, KJ Wright didn't play. So you have Earl Thomas out there with a bunch of idiots. And then on the offensive side of the ball, Doug Baldwin is out. So I don't really understand what they want Russell Wilson to do. And you have to be an idiot to say that Russell Wilson is not a decent quarterback. Like, if I tell you that somebody is trash, they're trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen enough. Russell Wilson is far from trash. But when you have dudes flying in like it's a whole offensive line of Eric Flowers, what do you want this man to do? Do you guys not realize that Khalil Mack was pushing right tackles right into him the entire game? He was pushing the right tackle right into Russell Wilson the entire game. How do you expect a guy that's 5'11", that's getting pressure from that side? And like I said, you have the other guys stepping up, making plays. You got Akeem Hicks, Aaron Lynch, you know what I'm saying? You got bums like Prince Amakamura. What is his name? Amukamara. I always mess up his name. Amukamara? Is that how you say it? Yeah, I think it's Amukamara. You got this dude doing pick sixes. You got Danny Trevathan doing like all kinds of strip sacks. It's such weird stuff going on. And this is not the same defense that it would have been if Khalil Mack wasn't there. So it's just wrong place, wrong time. And the score looks a little deceptive. Like 24-17. This game was a blowout. This game was pure domination. But Mitchell Trubisky made a couple of mistakes, and that's probably something that they're going to have to work on to try to figure out how to put this young man into better positions. But I like what Trubisky has to offer. See, this is a situation, right? Every quarterback is not going to be prototypical to the way that you want it. Everybody can't be Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, stuff like that. But they can be unique in the way that they attack the game, all right? And I think Trubisky has enough to be able to lead this team. Because if you think about stuff like Trent Dilfer with the Ravens, like, bro, their defense is good enough to take them places. If you tell me that Trent Dilfer was ever a good quarterback, like, I don't know what I can say to you. But that defense took them to a Super Bowl and they won it. Trubisky, in my opinion, is better than Trent Dilfer. So when people are saying, oh, yeah, bro, but this guy sucks, I don't think he sucks. I think he's still learning the game. And I think, like, this guy, what is it, Matt Nagy? Like, I think he's a lot better than John Fox. I think that what happened, I try to tell you guys, like years ago I told you guys this. When the Panthers lost that Super Bowl against the Patriots, John Fox was never the same. And he lucked out a lot and was able to get work and do different things, but he was never the same guy. I think him being gone, because I was actually pushing for him to be gone a long time. I think the first year that he was the Bears coach, after the first season, I was like, why is this guy coaching? This guy sucks. And people were like, yo, you give him a chance. I don't like the way he chews gum. So I was done with him from the first time I saw him on the sideline. It's very, very simple with me. I analyze things differently, but it makes sense when you look at it. Like the guy, John Fox, if you compare him right now to Matt Nagy, right? And you try to figure out exactly like which one would you prefer, most of you guys would prefer Nagy because he's more aggressive. It looks like he has more control of the team. He doesn't look like a complete idiot on the sideline like John Fox did for those years while he was there. It's a completely different, it's a different feel there. It's like the Bears have energy that they haven't had in a long time. And I'm really liking this defense. One thing that I want to point out, though, I want to ask you, how old is Sebastian Janikowski, and why is he kicking 56-yard field goals? Like, just imagine this. If the Browns had Janikowski, they would be 2-0. Because, like, simply put, bro, that kicker that they just released, and then they signed another guy that doesn't even know how to kick. But that's the Browns stuff. Then they trade the pick. They trade Josh Gordon to the Patriots. We're not going to talk about the Browns. That's a whole nother 75 podcast. We're not going to talk about the Browns right now. But what I'm saying is, Sebastian Janikowski, bro, like, I don't know what that guy takes, but it's probably just beer and popcorn. Because that guy is just kicking balls all over the place. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about the overall game and what I see going forward with the Seahawks. Now, before the trade deadline, I think the best thing for the Seahawks to do is to trade Earl Thomas III. Okay? Just trade him and get it over with because he's the last piece of that boom, the Legion of Boom defense that's going to be an issue for Pete Carroll because, to be honest with you, I don't ever think this team with Pete Carroll as the coach is ever going to recover from the Super Bowl that they lost to the Patriots. It's just certain things that you can't overcome, and you have to be able to accept that, and you have to be able to move forward. And I don't think that people are understanding what I've been saying since that Super Bowl. You can't do anything about that. Everybody that was involved in that situation as far as the team, like the coaches and everything like that, it has to be revamped because people are going to always hold that against the coaching staff. Yeah, you could fire Bevel. He should have been fired a while ago. You know what I'm saying? But now who do you got? Schottenheimer? That dude's garbage, bro. Like, he doesn't know how to call a play. You know what I'm saying? Like, Brian Schottenheimer, like, you serious? Look, it doesn't really matter about all that. People continuously ask me, okay, Gmia, what do you think about the Seahawks? And I tell them, look, guys, I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't think that they have any kind of upside to them unless Pete Carroll is fired. Everybody is fired along the lines of who was involved with that play calling. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what plagues them. I don't think that was the biggest blunder, in my opinion. Like in sports, next to J.R. Smith's situation with LeBron. But I think that the Warriors would have still won that series regardless. So I don't want to say that, that you could actually compare that to what they did in the Super Bowl because it's one game. You know what I'm saying? If the NBA Finals was one game, we could put that J.R. Smith situation like that. But looking at the way that it happened with that Super Bowl, this team will never recover with Pete Carroll as the head coach. I'm sorry to tell you that. I have absolutely zero faith in the Seahawks doing anything. I think Russell Wilson, he's a decent quarterback, but, bro, you have no O-line. You're running for your life every play. You got Khalil Mack at your mom's house. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, this dude is just showing up to your house like, yo, I'm taking your mom's out tonight. Like, it was really, really bad. And you don't have a lot of people on your team that's supposed to be there. I named a lot of the injuries on the defensive side of the ball earlier. So what exactly are you doing? Then your only offensive weapon is out. Okay, Doug Baldwin is out. You got no Bobby Wagner. You got no KJ Wright on defense. So the Bears should have actually won this game by a lot more, but in the fourth quarter, it was turned up a little bit. But then obviously the pick six sealed it, Amukamara and everything like that. You had a strip sack. And, these type of things are going to happen in a game where your old line is a bunch of Cabbage Patch Kids. Like, you have, this is the situation, right? When you're gauging these games, the Bears did exactly what they were supposed to do to this team. They were injury riddled and they went out there and beat them down. That's what listen, that's what lets you know that a team is ready to go. When you beat who you're supposed to beat, that's when you know that you're ready to go. And this Bears defense is really, really fierce. I don't want to say it's like Rams D and stuff like that, but they have a good enough core to put pressure on any quarterback in the league. It doesn't matter. There's no O-line that's blocking this team right now. And it's very, very simple. And again, this is the situation that everybody has to understand. When you're looking at the Seahawks, even with everybody back on the field, they're not going to ever do anything until Pete Carroll is fired. I promise you that. They will not win a Super Bowl. They won't be a threat because people don't. You can't overcome that. That call is just stupid. You have Marshawn Lynch in your backfield. That call is just stupid. But again, that helped, it changed the destiny of a lot of NFL franchises. Malcolm Butler became a multi-millionaire. That would have never happened unless that play happened. So somebody blessed him. So I'm not mad about it happening because it created opportunity. But for Seattle Seahawks fans, you got to be able to understand that. While Pete Carroll is there, this team will never operate. I don't care. They could have like a Dallas Cowboys O-line. They're going to still find a way to lose because the players are not going to ever get over that. I couldn't get over that. That is the dumbest thing you could possibly do. If you run that ball 4 times with Marshawn Lynch and don't get in, everything is fine. You probably go back to the Super Bowl the next year and change the history of, the Super Bowl loser not making the playoffs, because that would have been a more logical call. But instead, you did what you did, and it is what it is. And then plus you got the locker room is divided. They don't really like Russell Wilson for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe because he's hanging around with Future's baby with Ciara. I don't know what's happening. It's a lot of he said, she said stuff going on. But all in all, they were completely dominated. Russell Wilson was sacked like 6 times. It was disgusting. It was complete ridiculousness that was going on. Similar to what happened to Eli Manning the night before. O-lineman got a block, and things got... I don't know what to say about it, bro. But the Seahawks are not a team that I consider competitive at all, simply because their coach is still there after what happened. And if you look at the timeline, they have never been the same, and I don't think they will ever be the same until everybody is gone from that whole situation. I want to thank everybody for watching. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment section below. Make sure you guys know that I'm available on iTunes, Android, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Just simply search GmiasWorldPodcast. Get it for free on the go. Check out the other recent podcasts from week 1 and also week 2, Sunday Night Football and everything like that. And I'm going to see you guys and girls later. Enjoy your day. One love.